year 2024 was a very successful year. My road rage videos received a lot of views. Here are the top 5.
To murder for the road rage death of an off-duty New York City firefighter. Joe Desmond in court today accused of killing 33-year-old FDNY member Faisal Cotto 9 days ago in Brooklyn. And take a look at this. The handcuffs Desmond was in while transferred from the police department to court say E245. That stands for Engine 245. That was Officer Firefighter Cotto's firehouse. The FDNY tweeting this picture. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Tim Fleischer.
Led from the 6-2 precinct by detectives, 29-year-old Joseph Desmond would face but never look directly at the silent wall of firefighters standing shoulder to shoulder in honor of their fallen brother. Desmond was arraigned on second-degree murder charges in the death of 33-year-old Faisal Cotto, a firefighter from Engine 245 in Coney Island. He was found unconscious and unresponsive 9 days ago here alongside the Belt Parkway. Police believe he and Desmond had been in a minor accident and pulled off the road. Cotto died from multiple skull fractures.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Desmond was arrested last week and held in Middlesex County, where he later waived extradition. NYPD detectives bringing him back to New York today to face charges. 2 NYPD detectives who escorted Desmond wore red stripes on their shields in honor of the fallen firefighter. And tightly around Desmond's wrist were these handcuffs emblazoned with Engine 245 shield, as seen in this picture tweeted by the FDNY. But nothing spoke more loudly than the silent show of support of these firefighters, many from Engine 245 and Ladder 161. They were there to honor their fallen firefighter and, for his sake, to make sure there is justice.
Right now at 5:30, sentencing day for the man convicted in the death of an off-duty firefighter during a road rage incident 3 years ago. Good evening, I'm Dick Brennan.
Welcome back. I'm Jessica Moore. The firefighter's loved ones and his FDNY family gathered all today at the courthouse in Brooklyn to make sure that justice was served.
CBS 2's Jenna DeAngelis was there when his brother addressed the court.
Since December 9, 2018, it has been a struggle to live in a world without my brother.
The brother of FDNY firefighter Faisal Cotto speaking directly to the man who ripped him from his family, Joseph Desmond.
Today he turned 33 years old. And that's the same age my brother was when he took his life.
Cotto's mother wiping away tears as her son spoke.
Faisal was an amazing soul.
Desmond sat stoically in court in his sentencing more than 3 years after prosecutors say he killed Cotto following a minor crash on the Belt Parkway in December 2018.
Not only did he assault him and injure him, but he left him lying on the side of the road without calling for help, calling for assistance. That was a true mark of cowardice.
In his statement, Desmond disputed the evidence and showed no remorse. The judge sending a strong message.
Not only have you deprived the victim, their family, of a son, a brother, and uncle, but you deprived the people of this city of a person who was dedicated to responding to their need for help and assistance in times of crisis.
Sentencing Desmond to 25 years to life in prison.
I can deter you from harming other people by keeping you in prison for the remainder of your life. And that's precisely what I'm going to do.
That's what his family hoped for heading into court, backed by New York's bravest, the FDNY, with a huge show of support.
Faisal Cotto was a great and selfless man, loved by all that knew him, an asset to his family, his friends, and fellow firefighters, and an asset to New York City. His loss is a loss to all of us.
I asked his brother how he wants him to be remembered, and he spoke about his smile, describing him as a good person, a great uncle, and a hero. In downtown Brooklyn, Jenna DeAngelis, CBS 2 News.
Now in court, the judge pointed out a history of violent acts by Desmond prior to Cotto's killing, including a hate crime.
Courtroom packed with New York firefighters as a convicted killer of one of their brothers was sentenced to 25 years of life. It brings closure more than 3 years after firefighter Faisal Cotto was murdered in a road rage attack on the Belt Parkway. Here's Eyewitness News reporter N.J. Burkett.
Joseph Desmond was defiant to the very end, even as the victim's mother sobbed uncontrollably in the second row, even as the victim's brother struggled to hold it together.
You took away someone who meant the world to so many people, and you took away our moments. You took away a mother's favorite son. Faisal was a mama's boy, and his goal in life was to take care of his mama and to make sure she was always happy and set in life.
Faisal Koto was a New York City firefighter, the 33-year-old victim of a brutal, spontaneous murder. After a minor accident on the Belt Parkway, Koto pulled over to exchange information and was beaten to death by the other driver. Police tracked the car to a motel in New Jersey, where Desmond was arrested. Prosecutors say he was a gang member from Staten Island, once convicted on hate crimes charges for attacking a gay man with a stun gun. Koto was off duty at the time of the murder, but his funeral in 2018 drew hundreds of firefighters, including his colleagues from Engine 245 in Coney Island. Desmond was later convicted and was sentenced today. Fire Union President Andrew Ansbro.
We lose far too many members to the line of duty, but we also take care of the members that are in our family that we lose off duty.
News has obtained new information about Dakari Kinnard, the suspect arrested in connection with the road rage shooting on Interstate 76 earlier this month.
Neil Fisher has details, including how investigators linked the gun used in the Norton case to another shooting. Hi, Neil.
Hey, good evening, Russ and Laura. Investigators were able to recover 8 shell casings from I-76 on May 17th. Those were sent to the Ohio BCI, which then linked them to a shooting in Columbus in April. The affidavit states that the gun used in the Norton shooting is the same one used in a shooting in Columbus on April 13th.
New details surround Dakari Kinnard, the suspect accused of shooting George Jensen on I-76 in Norton. Columbus police investigated a similar shooting on April 13th, where gunshots were reportedly coming from someone in a black Camaro while it was traveling down the roadway. The Ohio BCI linked the two scenes together. The gun used in Columbus is the same gun used to kill Jensen. The affidavit states that Kinnard is the owner of a black Camaro that was seen on I-76 at the time of the shooting. Investigators say Kinnard got off the interstate at Barber Road, where his car was picked up by a license plate reader. Then it got back on I-76 the other direction and drove past the scene. The affidavit states that several witnesses observed gunshots coming from the black Camaro during a road rage incident. Those bullet holes were seen in the side of Jensen's vehicle, and investigators were able to recover 8 shell casings on I-76. Investigators also have phone records showing Kinnard's phone traveling from Columbus to Norton and then back to Columbus.
The complaint states that Kinnard purposely caused the death of George Jensen, resulting in a first-degree murder charge.
Today, the man accused of a road rage murder in Norton appeared in court for the second time. This as we are hearing from police detectives for the very first time as they testified to keep that suspect in jail without bond. Neil Fisher has details on the new information we're learning tonight.
Good morning. What's your name?
Tonight, Dakari Kinnard is behind bars in Summit County, suspected of shooting and killing George Jensen in Norton on May 17th. Judge Todd McKinney denied bail for the second time in 3 days.
The fact that it involves gun violence causes the court to continue its order to deny bail.
For the first time since Kinnard was arrested, we heard from Norton police about how the investigation unfolded.
When we spoke with the witnesses, they described a road rage incident involving a smaller blue vehicle and a black Camaro with tinted windows.
Norton Police Detective Ryan Cannell's testimony included how they were able to place Kinnard's Camaro at the scene of the shooting.
One of the cameras was able to capture a license plate for the Camaro. The video evidence then showed that the Camaro made another left-hand turn and entered the highway going westbound on I-76 and ultimately drove back past the shooting.
Investigators obtained a warrant for cell phone records and were then able to link the phone associated with the license plate back to Kinnard and discovered that Kinnard traveled from Columbus to Norton and back to Columbus that day. The Ohio BCI linked the crime scene on I-76 to a crime scene from Columbus in April, when shots were fired out of a black Camaro.
The shell casings here in Norton matched shell casings that were recovered during an investigation in Columbus.
The court has made a decision that I'm going to continue to deny bond. You'll continue to be held without bond at the Summit County Jail.
This case will be presented to a Summit County grand jury in the coming weeks. If Kinnard is indicted, the case will be bound over to Summit County. Laura?
All right, Neil Fisher live for us tonight. Neil, thank you.
Now at the news of an explosive day in a Summit County courtroom.
You brought me the third
Emotions running high today as Dakari Kennard was sentenced to prison for shooting and killing George Jensen. This was part of a apparent road rage incident on I-76 in Norton last year. Our Bree Buckley has more on today's hearing and the words of a family still in mourning.
It's been nearly a year since 40-year-old George Jensen, lovingly called Gio, was shot and killed during a road rage incident on I-76 in Norton. On Friday, Dakari Kennard was sentenced to prison, 15 to 17 and a half years, for Gio's death.
Your actions that day took you away from your family, but took Mr. Jensen away from his. And none of it makes any sense, because it didn't have to happen.
Gio's family and friends sharing emotional and at times angry statements before the judge, asking for the maximum sentence.
You get a number now. Someone will tell you when and what you can eat, when you can pee, when you can sleep. You will be in a cage, like the animal you are.
If you're a rational, ethical person, you wouldn't have kept a loaded gun underneath your passenger side. A full-time dad? I shouldn't have to beg for you to see that what you did was wrong.
Then puts 5 rounds into the passenger door with his left hand. Then slows to continue firing. 3 more rounds into the rear of the car. It then speeds away. What kind of person does that?
Dakari's family then asking the judge for leniency, saying he's kind-hearted and this doesn't reflect his character, sincerely apologizing to Gio's family.
This is a tragic for your family, and it's affecting our family also, and I'm so sorry. Dakari is a good father to his kids. He's quiet. He doesn't really bother anyone. And like I said, I don't know what happened, and I'm sorry that it happened.
Dakari sharing his own statement as well.
I just wish I could go back in time and take back my actions. I'm very sorry to my family and the victim's family. I just wish everything was different and handle myself in a better manner.
The hearing ending in an emotional outburst involving both sides as the courtroom began to clear.
Your son's a piece of
Sweep me out of the hallway. What kind of kid?
You probably deserved it based on how you came in here.
The judge called this a nightmare for both families. Last month, Gio's dad said he hopes this will be a lesson to take away from this tragic situation. He's sharing that message again today. Russ, as you can imagine, this has just been really tough for the family to relive the entire thing all over again. But they did say that it brings them closure as well, too.
Okay, Bree Buckley, thank you.
Of course.
You're right. Your son's a 5 to 7.
You better calm down. You better calm down. I'll tell you that. You better calm down. You better calm down.
You sweep me out of the hallway. What kind of kid?
You probably deserved it based on how you came in here.
I want everyone to stop now. Stop.
Not right either. He wasn't right. Do we learn nothing?
Right now, our top story at noon, a major crash involving a school bus shut down Highway 90 this morning. The crash happened around 8 a.m. on the eastbound lanes of Highway 90 near I-35 and Nogalitos. KENS 5's Vanessa Croy is joining us live with an update. Vanessa.
Audrey, in the last 15 minutes, we just got new details from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office who say they believe it was road rage that led up to this crash with that school bus, that thankfully there were no children on board at the time. Let me show you what I can see right now. It looks like deputies still have the roadway blocked off. They are working to tow another SUV that was involved in the crash. And right next to that, you see that empty school bus. The deputies working to get that on the tow truck right now to open up this highway again. Here's what else we have learned today. Now, according to pre-KSA, the bus was on the way to their West Center to pick up students for a field trip, but never made it. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office now leading the investigation, and they say deputies say witnesses reported seeing 2 vehicles engaged in a road rage incident moments leading up to this crash. An SUV involved in the road rage then slammed into the school bus, causing a chain reaction. 8 vehicles, including the bus, were involved in the crash. Out here today, we saw a mangled SUV and what appeared to be firefighters using the jaws of life to rescue someone trapped inside, and another SUV slamming into the wall that divided the main lanes. According to BCSO, one person was seriously hurt in this crash, but it's unknown right now if that person was the bus driver or another driver who crashed into that bus. And right now you can see the main lanes are still shut down at this hour. It's unclear how long deputies will have the freeway closed down while they finish their investigation. Right now the eastbound main lanes were being diverted to the Nogalitos exit here and around. We've seen officers at nearby intersections directing traffic to control the flow of everybody trying to go around this accident out here today. For now, Audrey, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks for that update, Vanessa.
First here at 5, a pregnant woman and her unborn twins are fighting for their lives following a road rage shooting in Palmetto. Manatee deputies say she was hit on Sunday after Vincent Steele allegedly opened fire on the truck she was riding in, angry that he had crashed while trying to pass them on Business 41. Steele now faces 5 counts of attempted murder, and the victim has undergone multiple surgeries since the shooting. Fox 13's Kimberly Quizon spoke with someone close to the family who wants their identity concealed.
First thing when she woke up, she said, "Is my mom still alive?"
That is the nightmare a family is now living after a drive along Business US 41 in Palmetto.
They actually seen him in the rearview mirror, weaving in and out of traffic.
As the road merges with US 41, the family told deputies a BMW was coming up fast. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says as the driver attempted to pass their truck, he clipped it and spun out of control. When the driver of the truck pulled over to make sure everything was okay,
They just started hearing gunshots, and they said that they could actually hear the ricochets or the bullets actually hitting the vehicle, and it stunned them.
Seconds after, deputies say 7 shots were fired. The driver of the truck took off, but quickly made a U-turn for the hospital after realizing his pregnant fiancée had been hit.
We had somebody who just was being impatient, so it would appear to try to get around this truck, ended up causing an accident and then taking it to a whole nother level.
50-year-old Vincent Steele of Riverview was arrested and charged with 5 counts of attempted murder.
We know that the driver of the sedan, the BMW, our suspect, is the one who fired multiple bullets into that car.
As Steele made his first court appearance, family members spoke out on his behalf. They say he was on his way back from picking up his wife at work, who was sick.
My father's always been a good person at heart. He's never really been an aggressor.
But deputies say Steele made the choice to fire the gun.
The unborn twins of the female are fighting for their lives right now, and if they do in fact lose that fight, he will be looking at murder charges.
And those closest to the family are asking others to slow down and be patient.
You don't know who's in that other car. I mean, and you don't know what life choices or what they're going on. We got to take our time. We have to, there's no point in getting in a hurry, especially at 5 o'clock at night, whether it's a Monday or Sunday. I mean, it's all rush hour traffic in Florida.
In Manatee County, Kimberly Quizon, Fox 13 News.
For now, Steele remains in the Manatee County Jail. He'll have a pretrial detention hearing Friday morning. Charges could be upgraded depending on the health of the woman and her babies.
I am including a local news report about road rage into the video of my personal road rage incident.
And we just told you a few weeks back about a road rage incident that led to a shooting, injuring one woman. It's incidents like that Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley says he wants to stop.
Several decades of driving, and it finally happened. Being brake checked. This car was actually behind me speeding up. They were flashing their lights for me to get out the way. It's crazy. The last portion of the video will show you how crazy this person really was. The Baltimore Police Commissioner talked about road rage on WBAL.
Says road rage is also a concern.
I have not seen so much road rage in my career as we have in the last couple years. And what's happening is so many people are carrying guns, and the road rage are leading to more and more shootings.
But
So I decided to pass him. And what he ended up doing is speeding up. So I get back in my lane, and what does he do? Pathetic. He wasn't even going to make a turn to the left.
It began, police say, when 35-year-old Sarah Morales, a pregnant librarian, swerved into traffic and intentionally hit a speeding biker. What followed was a drama that played out in a series of 911 calls.
911, where's your emergency?
This woman hit me with her car and fled the scene, and me and two other people chased her down.
A witness told police that the incident escalated when the biker became aggressive, yelled, and started driving next to the librarian. She, in turn, bumped into the bike. You can hear the panic in Sarah Morales' voice as the bikers follow her to her home outside Orlando.
I'm being followed by 3 men to my home. I told them to leave me alone, and they won't stop following me. They're following me to my house right now, actually.
She's yelling at them to go away, leave her alone.
Sarah's mom, Doreen, remembers her daughter running inside the house and grabbing a gun.
She was probably thinking, if they see I have a gun, they're going to back off.
When she came back outside, the bikers say Sarah pointed her gun at them. One biker opened fire. You can hear the gunshots on the 911 call. Sarah was hit 3 times in the stomach and chest.
She got shot. My daughter's been shot. Who shot her? One of the motorcycle drivers. She's pregnant. Dear God, she's pregnant.
Inside the house, Sarah's 11-year-old daughter, Gianna, was also on with 911.
I heard my mom screaming, and one of the dudes pulled a gun, and I'm just really scared.
This is where she went down, right here.
Sarah's mom says there was nothing anyone could do. She lost too much blood.
Get on the ground!
When police arrived, they put the biker, identified as Andrew Durr, in handcuffs.
That girl tried to kill me. She pointed a gun at me. I'm so sorry. She tried to kill me.
He claimed he shot the pregnant librarian in self-defense. He has not been charged. For Sarah's mom, that's a tough pill to swallow.
That just breaks my heart. It doesn't make much sense to me.